Hi there, Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk Bounty video. And in this video, I'm going to be reviewing this Star Wars The Vintage Collection Journey of Anakin Skywalker 3-pack. So this is one of those special action figure sets where you get 3 loose figures, and on this occasion, it's all based around Anakin Skywalker and his journey, which is pretty damn awesome. Now, this has been on pre-order for a while now, but it was actually available to buy at Star Wars Celebration. And I want to say a huge thanks to my buddy, Gary Moore, who attended Star Wars Celebration in Japan and was very kind enough to pick one up for me. Now, we did have a few issues in getting it to me. I won't go into the full details, but let's just say the first one that we attempted to send over got lost in the post and is still lost. But Gary, being Gary and the awesome guy that he is, actually sent me his sample as a replacement. So thank you so much, Gary. It does mean that you're going to have to wait for the original pre-order to arrive, but I really do appreciate that you sent this to me so I can get a review out there and check it out. So once again, buddy, thank you so much for the help in acquiring this for me from Star Wars Celebration. And with all that being said, if you don't enjoy the video, hit the like button down below, subscribe if you're new, and let's take a look at the packaging. All right, so front of the packaging, we've got the dual language there, special action figure set. We've got the Star Wars racetrack, and we also have the big window at the front. The journey of Anakin Skywalker, and as you can see, inside you get Anakin Skywalker in his Clone Wars attire. You get Anakin Skywalker after he's turned to the dark side, because it's labeled Darth Vader. And then also you get Darth Vader redeemed. So this is obviously Darth Vader after he has saved his son from the hands of the Emperor. Nice blue panel behind the figures there. Looks pretty cool. And then if we look at the back, you can see there, that is the Japanese sticker. As we know, as I mentioned, it's from Star Wars Celebration in Japan. So that's almost like an import sticker, if you like. And there is a image of all 3 figures in some kind of pose. Not too much else going on the back, and then the sides, really it's just all of that multi-language going on, and exactly the same on that side as well. So not too much going on the sides, but yeah, I really do like these special action figure sets in general. It's a real nod back to the Kenner era when they used to do these 3-packs in that line. So that is the outer packaging, but now we're going to be opening up the set and checking out the figures one by one, and also doing some comparisons where necessary. Once you've removed the outer packaging and the oversized bubble, then you are left with this tray with the 3 action figures inside. They all look pretty cool sitting there together. Just thought I'd show you that. All right then, so first up we have the Anakin Skywalker in his Clone Wars attire. Now, of course, we have also seen him wear this outfit in live action in the form of those flashbacks from the Ahsoka series. Very, very cool scenes indeed. I thought they executed them amazing. It was kind of like live action Clone Wars, and I thought they should have done more of it, to be honest. I thought it was really, really good. And of course, that enabled Hasbro to update this figure and put him on that Ahsoka card, because some of this figure was actually used for that original Clone Wars Anakin that we got in TVC 1.0. But I do think that they updated him really well. I do have some reservations about the sort of head sculpt and the hair and the color of the hair as well. A lot of people sort of thought he looked like Prince Charming from some Disney film or something like that. And I can totally see that. But I can also see a bit of Anakin in there as well. Now, they have updated this one with a few extra things, which this one doesn't have. Namely, as you can see, he now includes a soft goods cape, which attaches very similar to the Moff Gideon cape with these sort of elastic pieces that go underneath his arms. So you can take off that cape if you choose to. And also, they have put the scar on the head sculpt as well, which they failed to do on this version. It caused a big storm that they didn't do that, and they have corrected it on this one. And I think when they revealed this 3-pack, they said that this is kind of like based on his animated appearance in those Gendy Clone Wars episodes, where indeed he does have that cape, I believe. It's been a while since I watched those, but I think that is the case, and I'm pretty sure that's what they said. So all in all, there's not really too much to look at with this figure, because it is pretty much identical in every way, except for, you know, the new paint scheme on the head with that scar, which we'll take a closer up look at in a second, and also just quickly checking out the cape. So there you go. There is a super close-up look at the head sculpt there, and you can just see that scar there painted onto his face. And if we just bring in the other one, you can see that it is missing. So that is an improvement. He looks pretty cool. And then if we look at that soft goods cape, it's like a burgundy color, which matches his outfit, and the soft goods sort of skirt piece there, same color. And I think that looks pretty cool. So not really a huge update to the figure itself, but that often happens with these special action figure 3-packs. There tends to be quite a lot of reuse in these, or if it is a new figure, it ends up coming out in the main line later on anyway. But it's always nice to have things updated and corrected where they've, failed to do the right thing in the first instance. Of course, he has all the articulation you're going to need. They gave him the new barbell hips when they reissued him. He has the hinges at the shoulders, hinges at the elbows, hinges at the wrists. Really nice torso joint, knee joints, and rocker ankles as well. Pretty cool to have as the starter figure for the set. All right then, so now this is obviously the best part of this 3-pack in my opinion. This is a kind of Revenge of the Sith version of Anakin Skywalker after he's turned to the dark side, so essentially Darth Vader, and it is labelled as such. But I do believe that this one is based on his appearance from the Ahsoka sort of World Between Worlds, because he is packed in with a red lightsaber, and of course in Revenge of the Sith, even though he's turned to the dark side, he's still using his blue lightsaber, when he has his face-off with Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's still got his blue lightsaber at that point, even though he has turned into Darth Vader. So I think that's why he comes with that red lightsaber and not the blue. But for all intents and purposes, this is the Revenge of the Sith Anakin, really, isn't it? And he looks absolutely awesome. He does share the same legs as the previous figure, I'm pretty sure, with the barbell hips. The boots look very, very similar to me, and the legs, the sculpting work, look identical. But apart from that, I think the only other reuse is the belt. The belt, again, looks very similar to the Clone Wars version as well. We'll just bring him in again, just so we can sort of have him next to him so you can see that. So yeah, same boots, same legs, and same belt, but obviously the upper torso is new. The arms are new. You do get a replaceable left hand as well for the force push. And yeah, for me, this is the best part of the set, and I think he looks fantastic. They've done a really, really good job with what I think is basically Revenge of the Sith Darth Vader, basically. And here he is close up, so we can get a good look at that head sculpt. I think they've done a pretty decent job with that one. Of course, he does have the scar and the evil eyes. Are they Sith eyes? I can't really see with my eyesight looking through this camera, but they look pretty evil to me. And it is a different head sculpt to the Clone Wars version. Don't think it's just different paint applications. Yeah, it looks like a different sculpt to me. And for sure, the hair is a completely different style as well, as you can see there. And I just think he looks great. I mean, if we just zoom out a little bit, you can just see that full outfit that he has there. We've got the soft goods from the waist down to aid the articulation, with the tassels from his robes just hanging down over, and that is also the same for the back as well, just to match those sort of like tabards that he has going over his main tunic. There you can see his glove on one hand with the paint applications, and then of course his left hand there, and we will do the hand swap in a second. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. And yeah, surely this opens up the possibility of a Revenge of the Sith Anakin Skywalker on that Revenge of the Sith card. As I said, I'm pretty sure that this one is based on his appearance from the World Between Worlds. But nevertheless, very, very cool figure. I'm enjoying it very much. Let's take a quick look at the articulation in terms of the head to start with. That is on the barbell joint. Plenty of range on there. We have the shoulders. They look pretty good. They go all the way round. Elbows go a little past 90. Hinges at the wrist. Torso joint, just like the Clone Wars version. And then, of course, we have those barbell hips, splits at the top of the thigh. Knee joint that just goes slightly above 90. and then the rocker ankle. But of course, that whole lower leg is exactly the same as the Clone Wars version, as you can see there. Like the Clone Wars version, the lightsaber hilt is included and does attach to his belt. So you can have that hanging down just like that. And as you can see, it is Darth Vader's lightsaber. Or alternatively, you can have him holding the lit lightsaber. But you also get this interchangeable left hand in the sort of force push mode. And wouldn't it be very, very cool if we got an all new Obi-Wan Kenobi from Revenge of the Sith with a similar hand, and then they can do that scene from Revenge of the Sith. That would be pretty cool. So let's just change that hand over just so we can see what he looks like. And there you go. Pretty cool for them to include that. That's good. I think he looks excellent. And of course, that hand also includes a hinge as well, so you can sort of move that hand around if you wanted to. Definitely the pick of the bunch for me, this figure. And now we will move on to Darth Vader Redeemed. All right then, so now we have Darth Vader Redeemed. Now, of course, this is the very scene-specific moment in Return of the Jedi where he saves Luke Skywalker and gets electrocuted by the Emperor. Now, very much like the Return of the Jedi Darth Vader that we got a year or so ago, you do get the interchangeable hand. So you get the, the cut-off hand piece, if you like, which is a good thing, of course. But of course, at this moment in time where he has been electrocuted, and as you can see there, we'll take a look at the helmet in a second, you can actually see the sort of skull coming through that sort of clear helmet there. At that point in time, he's already had his hand cut off. So the fact that they've given us his actual hand wasn't really needed, in my opinion, but it's a good thing that we've got it anyway. Because as I said, whether you use those electric sort of effects or not, the fact that he's got that helmet like it is, he would have already have had his hand chopped off at that moment in time. But nevertheless, it's still good to have these included rather than not, if that makes sense. Now, he does come with the lightsaber hilt, which you can attach to the belt. And of course, the lit lightsaber, his red lightsaber. There is the interchangeable hand, which we will do in a second. But really, this figure is based off of the other Darth Vader sculpts that we've had through the course of the last couple of years. The first one that came out was from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which was an unbelievable Darth Vader. And ever since then, they've given us the movie-specific versions with ever so slightly different armor and tabards and things like that. So with the A New Hope version, he had the tabards going over the armor. With the Return of the Jedi version, you had the cut-off hand, that kind of thing. And this one is based on that Return of the Jedi body with the cut-off hand. Essentially, what they've done is given you those two electric lightning pieces, if you like. You've got this one that's going around his hand. I'll take them off so you can have a look at them in a second. And also this bigger piece that goes over the body. Now, before we take a look at the figure in more detail, I did just want to show you this. This is, of course, VC 115. This was the final figure in the TVC 1.0 line. And this is Darth Vader Redeemed. So this is the very scene-specific Darth Vader. I do believe that that lightning piece is different to the one that they've included with the new Vader. But basically, the one that we've got in the 3-pack is an updated version of this, using the new Darth Vader sculpt. So there's the back of the card, VC115. Very, very cool card back. Obviously doesn't really match the scene. Maybe they will release that figure again in the line with a card back that matches that scene. Who knows? Who knows what they'll do? But let's take a look at the figure in a bit more detail. Okay then, so here is a close-up look at this translucent helmet of the new Darth Vader Redeemed. So you can see what's going on there, of course. Is see-through, and inside there is like a sculpted head of Anakin, I do believe. It's quite hard to see, but you can see it, and I will show you how that works in a second. Unfortunately, it isn't like a removable helmet where you can actually see, the scarred head underneath. But there's that like lightning effect all going around him, and we'll just take that off for you so you can see that's sort of one piece there, so you can sort of attach that how you want. And then you've got the one sort of going around his arm there as well, which is pretty cool. But essentially the rest of the figure is pretty much, Darth Vader from Return of the Jedi that we've already got in the line. And I'll just pop off the head So we can take a look at that. You can see it has like the bottom of a barbell joint, but the rest of it doesn't move at all. It's sort of like stuck in there. And you can just kind of see in there coming through like some kind of head sculpt of, you know, battle damage scarred Anakin Skywalker, which is pretty cool. Difficult to see on camera, and actually it's quite difficult to see in hand as well, but you can make it out because you can definitely see his sort of chin in there. So I do like the way that they've done that. That is pretty cool. And yeah, very, very nice. There he is one more time. So that is Darth Vader redeemed with all of the lightning effects going on around him. Very, very scene specific. If you're going to be displaying this one, there's only sort of one obvious way that you would display it. But still, I think it's pretty cool to be in that 3-pack. And I just, in general, like the idea of that 3-pack, like the journey of Anakin Skywalker. I thought that was pretty cool. It reminded me a little bit of the Luke Skywalker pack that we got before, where you got the pilot, the stormtrooper Luke, and you also got the Jedi Knight Luke. I think if they were going to bring out that pack now, it would probably include, you know, the farm boy Luke, hopefully a new Bespin Luke if they're ever to bring that out, and then of course that Return of the Jedi Luke that we have, Jedi Knight Luke. Basically, that would be a pretty cool 3-pack going along the lines of, you know, like a journey of a character, like an evolution pack if you like. But yeah, that is the final figure from this particular 3-pack, and we'll set them all up now and take a final look. So there you go then, guys. That is the Journey of Anakin Skywalker Special Action Figure Set 3-pack. Here are the 3 figures that you get included. We've got the Anakin Skywalker from the Clone Wars, and then you've got the kind of Revenge of the Sith Anakin stroke Darth Vader, and then of course we've got Darth Vader who has been redeemed, and there I've got him set up very, very quickly, just about to throw the Emperor. So there you go then, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the review. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you once again to Gary for sending over this set for me. It is greatly appreciated, buddy, so thank you so much. Thank you to my Patreon supporters and channel members. As always, your support means a great deal to me, so thank you so much, and we shall see you on the next one.